Friday, 2 plays on Saturday with other groups, and then the last play to be presented Sunday was the play by the housemaids. It was a big success. They applauded very much, and at the end someone came to me and said that one of them was crying. And I said, why is she crying? If it was so well, went so well, why is she crying? And I thought maybe she stumbled over the furniture or she forgot her lines. So I went backstage and asked her, why were you crying? And she said, oh, I was crying because it was very much moving. Because look, we are housemaids, so we are taught to be mute, not to speak. And here, during the rehearsal, there was a man putting a microphone here on my dress and say, speak out loud because I want everyone to hear you up there in the mezzanine. And we are taught to be mute, and then he wanted me to speak out loud my opinion, my ideas. And then later came another man. We are housemaids, we are taught to be invisible. We have to do all the work, put the food on the table, take the food clean, take the children to the school. We do everything, but we have to be invisible. And then there was a man say, come closer to here because I want to put the lights on you so that everyone is going to see you. And then we are housemaids, and I was being visible. And I said, that's right, you cried. I said, no, that was very moving, but I did not cry because of that. Then I said, why did you cry? See, and then during the show, I was there, speaking loud with the microphone, the lights were on me, and the family for whom I worked for 10 years, they were all of them sitting there in darkness, looking at me. And I said, is that why you cried? He said, no, that's not why I cried. I said, okay, what the hell? Why did you cry? And she said, because when everything was over, I went to the dressing room. And in the dressing room, there was a mirror. And I looked at the mirror. And then I said, what did you see? And she said, I looked at the mirror and I saw a woman. I said, of course you saw a woman. When I look at myself in the mirror, every morning when I'm going to race, I see a man. You looked at the mirror, you saw a woman. And she said, yes, no. But this was the first time that I saw a woman in the mirror. And I said, what did you see before? And she said, before I used to see a housemaid. But today I saw a woman. And then for me it was extremely touching, because I understood what is the power of theater when you go on stage and tell your will, say what you think, show your own emotions. When you become using the power that the stage has to show yourself more than to show, to affirm yourself more than to affirm, to be yourself. I think that theater is a means of liberation, and for that woman who saw herself as a woman for the first time, it was really a means of liberation. And the last story that I'm going to tell you, the very last story that I want to tell you happened when Julien died. We work very much also with people that have a physical problem. They have a crippled problem or whatever. They have any mental problems and they go on wheelchair. And one day I was working with people like that are severely impaired. And there was a man called Alan. And Alan, he had the cerebral palsy. So he could not speak like that. We could not understand anything. But he had what in England they call a carer, which is a person that government pays to take care of that person. That's the name, carer, that takes care of that person. And he had also a small computer that he could write down, and with images like house, and appear the dining room, the toilet, and by that the machine would speak for him. So all of the time he entered on stage. It was much slower, of course, his intervention, but using this machine and using the car. He lived in Liverpool, and Hampton Bridge was 2 hours away, you know. So the last day I came to Alan and asked him, look, from tomorrow on, what are you going to do? Because you take your train 2 hours to come here, 2 hours to go back, 5 hours to have the workshop, more time to wait. You stay 12 hours on the way, and tomorrow you don't have anything more to do. What are you going to do? And him, who could not speak, he, with the carrot and with the machine, he said, tomorrow I'm going back to work. And then I looked at him, I found it extremely strange. A person who could not speak, who was on a wheelchair, what could he teach? And I said, what could he work on? And I said, you work in what? And he said, I teach. I am a teacher. I teach. And then I looked at him, and he saw my face, not believing him. And he said, yes, I teach. And I said, what do you teach? And he said, I'm a teacher of dance. And then I said, look, Alan, you cannot speak, you cannot move, and you are a teacher of dance. How can you do that? And he said, oh, I work for people like me on wheelchairs that have cerebral palsy. And then I have a CD. Before I put the CD, I explained to everyone the story of the samba, the waltz, the Viennese waltz, the foxtrot, all those rhythms. I explained to them, and then I put the CD, and everyone dances. And I said, but everyone who, if they are on wheelchairs like you? And he said, but you told me that all of us can do theater, so all of us can do dance. Those who are like Nureyev, they do acrobatic somersaults. Those who cannot, because they are in a wheelchair, they can dance with their arms. If they cannot, because their arms don't respond, they can dance with their head. If they cannot dance with their head, they can dance with their eyes. But every human being is a dancer. I said, thank you.